Hello, my name's Kerry Lewis and I'm a member of the MrBruff.com writing team. Today I'm going to talk about how to use the ellipsis. The ellipsis is the word for these three dots. They look like 3 punctuation marks, but they count as 1. That's why it's called an ellipsis. If you have 2 or more, they're called ellipses. The first use of the ellipsis is to show that your thoughts are trailing off into a pause. In this extract, Paulina asks her friend Lucy, "Is my cousin Ginevra still at Madame Beck's?" "Your cousin is still there. You must be longing to see her." "No, not much." "You want to invite her to spend another evening?" "No." "I suppose she still talks about being married." The ellipsis slows the pace down and creates a pause. Paulina is thinking about not wanting to spend another evening with her cousin. Then she pulls herself together and she changes the subject. University of Oxford Style Guide says that we don't have a space before or after the ellipsis, but if the ellipsis is standing for a pause, as it is here, we have 1 space after it. Some writers developed the idea of thoughts trailing off into a pause by placing an ellipsis at the end of a sentence to create suspense. For example, at the beginning of The Mill on the Floss, the narrator says, "It is time too for me to leave off resting my arms on the cold stone of this bridge." The extract is from the first chapter of the novel, so we don't know the narrator very well at all. We don't know why she's standing on the bridge, we don't know what happened before this moment, and we don't know what's going to happen next. This is why we have the ellipsis here, to create suspense. The final use of the ellipsis is to show that we've deliberately left a word or words out of a sentence. Mr. Crawley has been arrested for debt. In other words, he owes people money. He wonders who's behind the arrest. He suspects that it's Lord Steyne because he's been spending a lot of time with Mr. Crawley's wife. Was there? He could hardly bear to think of what he suspected. The ellipsis reveals Mr. Crawley's suspicions of an affair between his wife and Lord Steyne. His thoughts are so upsetting that he can't even bring himself to say what's on his mind. Those thoughts are the missing words. When you're quoting, you can also use ellipsis to show that you're missing words out. In this extract, from Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, the narrator is woken up in the night by the ghost of a woman trying to get into his bedroom. A pane of glass in the window is broken. Tenacious means clinging. Terror made me cruel, and finding it useless to attempt shaking the creature off, I pulled its wrist onto the broken pane and rubbed it to and fro till the blood ran down and soaked the bedclothes. Still it wailed, "Let me in," and maintained its tenacious grip, almost maddening me with fear. Let's imagine that you want to quote from this long sentence, and you use an ellipsis to show that you've left some of the words out. For example, the narrator admits, "Terror made me cruel." That's the bit I've quoted. Then we have the ellipsis to show that these words here are missing. I pulled its wrist onto the broken pane and rubbed it to and fro. That's here. So what's left makes sense by itself. There's no ellipsis at the end because we don't need it. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you're interested in buying a copy of Mr. Bruff's Guide to Grammar, I've put the link in the description below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you in the next video.